Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had a wonderful week, prosperous, productive week, and that you're geared up for a fantastic weekend. Now, to that point, I would like to say, for this weekend in particular, please be careful, be mindful of where you go and who you go with and what you're doing and how you feel when you get there. All right? Don't ignore any inklings, any what do they call it, niggles in your spirit that make you feel uneasy or uncomfortable. I know for sure that this weekend is going to be a big weekend for Halloween celebrations and parties and costume extravaganzas of every sort of fun and of dark order, let's just say. So just be careful, of what you're investing your energy in or projecting your energy into, or even who you are inviting to your own functions. Just be safe out there. Because what we do have in perfect timing for the season is a new moon and lunar eclipse happening tomorrow, October 28th. Today is the 27th. And yesterday, after I had already posted my message, I was like, oh shoot, is the new moon tomorrow? The full moon tomorrow. And I'll more or less like to give the message the day before, so that if anything comes up, it's kind of like a preparation and a grounding for your energy. It's particularly for full moons, but I checked the date and I was like, oh no, it's the 28th. And then in my mind, I had settled to do it today, but then I just got geared up to get going and I still didn't do it. I'm not prepared to do the message today. It is going to be a full moon in Taurus. I'm pretty sure that it's in Taurus, but I haven't really, settled with the energy to give an extensive message at this time. And I really wonder why, because I had the intention to. So usually when that occurs, there's something else that needs to come through in order for me to deliver it the most holistically that I'm supposed to. However it's supposed to come through me. Maybe there's some information that I need to connect to. I don't think it's until tomorrow around 4:30 in the afternoon. And I am thoughtful to maybe even come back later this evening and do the message so that it's out there before time. But in any event, I will definitely be here, Lord willing, to share something with you in that regard, and then of course to do a message. But again, like I said, it's a full moon and it's a lunar eclipse in Taurus, if I'm not mistaken. So that means that it definitely has a real time, real life, physical impact, because Taurus is about material life, what you can actually sensationalize. Dare I say money. It's ruled by, the planet of Venus, so it's money and love still in consideration there. But it's a bit more tangible. It's about the comforts of your home and your stability and surroundings, the things that kind of give life ease and make you feel, comfort and complacent in some regard. Pick your poison, So not to get too deep into it, definitely begin whatever practices you do, I would say, to bring light into your home space and being mindful about cultivating a spirit of prosperity in your mind, mentally, emotionally, being thoughtful of the most prosperous presence of yourself. Even now, I was about to say potential or expectation, but it needs to be a cultivation of a now type of thing, like really kind of bunkering down on what you've already called in to be true for yourself in the material sense, by way of solidifying it and verifying it, maybe even affirming, and maybe even putting yourself in the work of such of the things that you may be calling into existence in your waking life. You know, living in luxury, you know, even if it's just a mental projection or visualization or affirmation. You know, if your ideal is to be living in luxury or in comfort in your material world at all, which I mean, whose isn't really, then definitely be in that mind frame right now. Be eating good food, you know, thinking positive thoughts, think rich and righteous, you know, do something that you love to do. Take some time to rest for sure with this full moon energy. Taurus definitely is no stranger to finding opportunities to rest and relax. Be mindful of overindulgence, you know, and anything that's not necessarily holistically healthy, but for the most part, allow yourself to indulge in the comforts and the delights of life in a way that may help, I'm thinking, soothe and satisfy the impacts of the elements, however they pretty much show themselves to be. You know, just preparing your energy, like almost like nesting in a sense, you know, creating a nice little comfortable nest for yourself and being restful in that space, because given it's a Scorpio season and also given it's a lunar eclipse and it's in Taurus, I just don't know how exactly this impact is going to come through. I don't particularly feel nervous about it, but what I was seeing, to be honest, when I was just doing my regular shuffling and cutting the cards on my own, was a lot of low vibrational energy contending with itself on the outside. I didn't get the sense that it was necessarily something to be fearful of personally, especially if you're living and moving and breathing in the upright. But maybe it's like these energies kind of like gearing up on the outside probably because of the season. You know, people misread the room and for the solar eclipse and tried to harness that energy for different work and dark intentions. And this is like the big one, you know, it's right before Halloween, the portals are open, and it's a lunar eclipse, and it's a full moon, you know, all these things coming together, and it's in Taurus. That people that have a darker intention are hoping to make a physical impact or impression in ways that they have no business doing, pretty much. So that's why I guess I'm saying what I'm saying, that, you know, it's important just to bunker down where you are safe, sound, and secure. You know, maybe you don't necessarily need to be going out toasting to the good life this weekend because of the elements, because of the intentions and energies that are kind of roaming about. Honestly, I'm getting the sense that they're a little bit desperate in their pursuits at this time to just connect with some sensation of light, you know, something, because I feel like those energies haven't really been faring the best in terms of the prosperity, or I should say the productivity, because there ain't nothing prosperous about it, but the productivity of their endeavors. So it's like almost a last ditch effort that some may be looking to satisfy, literally, Taurus energy. I guess I'm kind of giving the message now, at least this is my expression of it, but usually I like to have a little bit more structure. But some are looking to satisfy the voids of their success and other dark intentions that have kind of, like, because of the cosmic current, have kind of been cut short in ways that weren't really expected, because things have been working and flowing in a certain regard up until now. And now it's kind of like, you know, like, what do we do now? Well, the only thing they know how to do, or that energy knows how to do, is what it's always been doing: lying, stealing, God forbid, killing and destroying, So pick one, they're going to pick one, if not all of them, and try to figure out how they can activate that energy one last time, unbeknownst to them. It's going to turn around to their own demise, but nothing beats a failure but a try, right? As far as they're concerned. So it doesn't matter what. That's why I wasn't really bothered by what I was seeing, quite honestly. It doesn't really matter what the intentions are. It matters what your position of grounding is more than anything. So that it matters that you're in integrity to ultimately create a force field or a shield for your own protective force against whatever intentions may be. And it doesn't necessarily have to be of a physical nature, meaning actually somebody sitting around plotting and planning on you, but just the aspects of the cosmos at this time are oppositional to certain ways that you may be impelled or compelled to move about. And if you're not in alignment with that flow, actually listening to the call for rest and rejuvenation, or maybe a resistance to certain invitations or rejection to certain environments or people, places, things, and maybe a no thank you, whereas in other cases you might have been a absolutely type of situation. Really just going with your gut is what I mean by the intention piece, the integrity piece. Listening to that inner spirit, that emotional intelligence, and also the signs and synchronicities that may be screaming at you as to how you should govern yourself accordingly, so that you're just in the most safe and secure space to be, one way or another. So there's that. And then I only really intended to give my little tea bag message today, which I also love, which says, life is best lived by focusing on your goals and dancing through all other distractions. Never had that one before. I guess Yogi did a little reset, because I've been having a lot of messages that I never saw before, and sometimes they used to repeat quite a bit, which I don't mind, because when you get a repeat message from the tea bags, I feel it's just a reminder or something that you kind of needed to hear again. But this is definitely one that I've never heard before. So again, as I'm speaking of the potential for there to be distractions, even in the media, they might ramp up the propaganda just in time for the weekend and gearing up for Halloween to, intensify people's energies to do something a little bit sillier than normal than they would typically do, So you have to be aware of all the things that are transpiring right now in this very highly intense evolutionary energy that we are contributing to and co-creating with and in at the same time. And just do your part. By do your part, I mean just protect your own energy, your own vitality, and stay in integrity above all things. Don't be swept up in just trying to, keep up with the crowd and not wanting to miss out, and this and that, whatever, or taking some urgent last-ditch opportunity or invitation that really doesn't even seem right, doesn't even make sense, at this time, or just comes out of nowhere, perhaps. Like, really scrutinize those things with, a magnifying glass in the spirit, to make sure that it's something that you're going to add value to or gain value from. If it don't prove that logically, then it ain't worth it. It's just all I'm trying to say here. And there must be a reason. Look, Lord, and this is the chaos and confusion right here. This Five of Wands, and I kept seeing this card coming up. It was this card, and well, I ain't gonna call the energy out because it may not even come back out, but this is enough. Competition, confusion, chaos, energies that are kind of combating with each other. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's happening in in an aggressive way to the point where like people are fighting in the streets per se, although, you know, get into the card as you will, but it's like the frequency, the lower frequency that you may encounter just going about life, you know, as you intend to do so on your merry little happy way. And these are the vibrations, like people internally having battles with themselves that more or less they ain't staying home because they don't have the foresight or insight to say, you know what, I'm not in the highest vibration. Let me stay home and, you know, cater to my energy. People that are in the lowest vibration are usually often out seeking whom they can connect with or project onto, or, you know, misery loves company, so to speak. So again, I didn't say all that for nothing. Just be mindful that this is the energy out there this weekend. It might not be everybody's energy, but that's the thing about it. It may not even be your energy. You may feel absolutely fine through this lunar eclipse. You may be experiencing a rebirth, as a matter of fact, and some regeneration in your living situation or in your in the comforts of your life in some regard. However, you could go to the wrong place at the wrong time and encounter energies that are having the opposite experience of you and find yourself caught up in the crossfire. So there's that, okay? Like, I know I don't be talking for nothing. I know sometimes y'all probably think I do, but I don't, I promise you. Wow, okay, so this did that little thing again. Well, it was my finger, but still, that's always interesting when that happens. One sec. All right, so you saw how it split out. I'm gonna leave it side by side for now, but we'll see how, let's just get a few cards on the board because I know that I'll be a little bit long these days because I don't have my good old incense timer to keep me in alignment. So there's that. Ooh, big heavy hitters coming out. Or maybe I should do this actually. Give myself some more space. Let's see here. I haven't lined them up like this in a while because you know me, I'm always so fixated on the balance of the formation. But thank you, Spirit. You gave me 2, 2, and 2. All right, so let's see what we got here to start. And what's on the bottom? High Priestess, and I saw that 8 of Wands peeking out. Interesting. Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? Like, well, you know, you may or may not, but let me get into it. Because I'm seeing this aggression over here with the Knight of Swords. As I was saying, like things on the outskirts that have some sense of urgency, Knight of Swords, or entitlement, aggression. You know, it's like brewing on the sidelines, you know, and this, I hear the word seething energies on the sidelines. And I really think it's because, like I was saying, people are in a place where they're having to walk away from things that they've invested a lot of energetic force into. You know, the 8 of Cups in this regard is giving me invested energy that was unsatisfactory, which is also what I spoke to as well. You walk away from the 8 of Cups because there's a dissatisfaction here, and you're hoping to find, that fill that void or redeem that loss in some way, shape, or form elsewhere, and through some other source with some other opportunity. Now, in the highest vibration is believing that in faith, more or less, that you're going to find that satisfaction elsewhere. So, but in the darker vibration, which is what I'm feeling, and you see the moon card here, and this moon always looks sad to me. I don't know why. The moon always looks a little bit disappointed. If you see what I'm saying. It gives like, damn, none of that worked. All right, I'm gonna go try something else. And I'm feeling like because of the energy, the intensity of this cosmic current that we are, heading into, people feel particularly faithful that their ambitions will be well aligned, and well supported. But I mean, I don't even feel compelled to be sitting here giving no more warnings, because I feel like I've given enough warnings in the spirit. Really, this is really more so about those that are in the upright, in the lover's position, that are in the space and time to have been intentional about pursuing their most supreme selves, answering to whatever higher calling that has been tugging on their heartstrings personally, and finding their selves into the alignment with others that are on that same vibration and that are intentional about that harmonious synergy. This is the outskirts of those that are looking to interject, interfere, or influence this experience, that feel some entitlement to that light, as it is with the sun card here, knowing that they have none out. I hear these, I thought they were long gone by now, but I hear the landscapers coming back around again with those noisy blowers, so I apologize. I may have to shut the window if they stick around too long, but I thought they were all done. Please go away. I appreciate their service, but God, is it an annoying sound. One second, y'all. He's blowing cars. Like, didn't you come over here already, my guy? Consider that though, if you can hear me, because sometimes I realize that things that are most distracting to me, because I can hear it, may not even translate or transmit as much through the camera as much of a distraction. Like, as long as you can still hear what I'm saying, please excuse the background distraction. But let's contextualize it, shall we? That's the outside distraction that's being illustrated, not illustrated, but what do you call it? It's exemplified right now in real time. Don't have nothing to do with me, really, that he's out there blowing the leaves, but it interferes with what I'm doing, which does, for me, this is something important and of value, and that I feel a connection and commitment to. And he's just out there, doing his job, ultimately trying to get paid. You know what I mean? Like, just moving in the obligation of what he's been directed to do. That's the energies here that I feel are almost moving on autopilot at this point. And that's probably why there's this insistence to continue to keep trying the same old tactics over and over again, just reformulated in some, seemingly fresh way, at least from their perspective. But it's the same old game over and over. This entitlement, this aggression, this fury towards trying to extinguish natural light, trying to impose or infuse energy into partnerships or into personas. I would say into the fortune of others, you know, literally just trying to like pierce the force field of this inner sanctum here, get into it, that they have really no true right to at this point, that hasn't been earned naturally, obviously, or there would be no need for entitlement or aggression, right? Because it would come natural, or it would be in and of the possession of the aggressors themselves at this point. There would be no need for dissatisfaction in the Eight of Cups, no need for this sense of entitlement and fury and fast action, because someone more or less in this regard would be content with moving at a steady pace, you know, like say the Knight of Pentacles, perhaps, that's content with what he has and what he's cultivating. So I'm feeling like these energies that I'm talking about, that I saw coming up in my pre-shuffling, that I felt compelled to talk about, they're no threat, because they're ultimately setting themselves up for failure. You know, it's just that you get to continue to operate in integrity and protect your force field from even the attempt to make an impact or be an interference, staying true to what you know is divine and what you know is most ideal. You know, you could easily get swept up into something that you had no intentions to be so. Like, for instance, I definitely had the thought to maybe close that window before I started recording, but I didn't, because I really wanted that breeze, since I don't have, even though it ain't even much of a breeze coming right now because it's pretty warm, but I wanted that circulation because I have to turn the fan off to record. But if I had listened to my first instinct, I would have saved myself the disruption, because you wouldn't even really have been able to hear the landscape blower. Little things, little practical things, you know, listening to your intuition. And it may seem like something small, like don't go to that party, or don't go to the store right now, or wait an hour before you make that phone call, or, you know, don't let this person in your house, don't invite this person to your function, don't go to that place, or don't indulge in that activity. And it may not even be eternal or long term. It just might be for a time that you're getting, literally a time with the Wheel of Fortune, that you're being called to make some type of like final decision that may not present itself to matter much, but in the grand scheme of this board just alone, just to start, it could make all the difference in your destiny. You know, it could completely change the trajectory of your destiny, your vitality, and your comfort, you know? So, and infringe on your alignment as it is. Like, I'm getting the energy of like those that really want to impose upon your intuition, you know, like what makes you tick, what makes you feel secure in spirit and in truth, that thing that really is intangible, you know, like that people can't really get to. They're trying to get, it's like trying to take a hack at the sun. It's like pointless, you know, and it's hard to get to the core of the matter here, this Wheel of Fortune and Judgment energy, because it's a destiny and fate that, you know, we're talking about Wheel of Fortune, that's almost like your Akashic records, you know. It's something that it really is only unique to you. And even people that think they can break in and try to finesse their way into shifting some things around for what you're justified to receive, or how you've been designed to evolve, even in the physical sense, what fortune is due to you in one way, shape, or form, it's already written, you know. So the best that these literally outside interferences can do is try to infringe on your comfort levels, your securities, your physical grounding and stability to impose a material interference that would make you feel incited to panic or to disconnect from this value that's already been determined from an intangible space. Like literally somebody just trying to, you sitting at home relaxing and watching TV, feet up, ain't doing much, and somebody calls with an emergency of their own, like, oh my God, I can't do such and such. I mean, I can't, say they lock themselves out the car. Can you please come? Or lock themselves out the house, and you supposedly have the spare key, or they broke down. That's a better example. Like they broke down on the side of the road and they need you to come and pick them up and wait for the tow truck or whatever, or help. Even more, they don't have the resources to call a tow truck. Can you come and use your AAA for them so that they can get tow truck service? I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. Are they hip to the game now? I know if the card holder or the account holder is present, you can get that service. But it's like your energy is some relief of some extenuating circumstance that you didn't have anything to do with. Now this is probably a bad example, but feel me if you will. Like you at home chilling, Netflixing, eating popcorn, shoes off, just having the time of your life unbothered. And somebody calls and all of a sudden it jolts you out of your comfort zone to come and see about them. And then God forbid, on your way, you get into an accident. Or when you get there, it's more involved than what you anticipated. Now you got to sit. They were supposed to be coming in an hour, but now they're 2 hours delayed. So now that it's just a mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope you understand what I'm saying, because it wasn't the best example. But it's like you've already had a set situation going for yourself. Now it is very minimal and super duper practical, because this is talking about what you have decided in terms of what you wanted to do with your time. But consider it being a destiny from celestial order that's already been determined, and that you have ultimately come into alignment with, because that's what the high priestess energy is. Like you have made a decision to be in agreement with that fortune, that destiny. You've aligned yourself in a way to be, the beneficiary of whatever that blessing or whatever this determination is. And then somebody wants to come and make their urgency your emergency, and it shifts your whole world. And then you sitting here and you're on your pretty little throne, praying and meditating, or Netflixing and chilling, whichever you fancy. And you take yourself out of that integrity of intention for someone else's sake. And it doesn't fare out well for you. In the end, it fares out fine for them, because they get the car towed, they get the service that they need on your account. They have the luxury of your company while they wait, and all these other things. But where does it leave you ultimately? Because you made a decision to pretty much self-sacrifice your sanctity for someone else's well-being, or someone else's, I don't know what I'm trying to call it, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that you can't help a friend in need. I'm just saying that that you got to help yourself, and you got to be, maybe unfortunately in this regard, hear me out now, being very careful, because like I'm saying this for a reason. Someone that might be presenting themselves to be in dire straits, and you're the only savior for their situation, may not necessarily be the most honest in that regard, especially in the vibration that I'm speaking of, where you just got to be careful. I know I'm a very helpful and caring friend, so I'm talking about this from the perspective of it being almost a setup in some regard. and that even the ways in which sometimes it doesn't appear to be a setup could be setting you up because you've abandoned your highest intuition and your integrity for the sake of saving someone else's. That's not really an energy that's going to be rewarded in this time frame. You might actually find yourself in a worse off position than whom you're looking to help or save or, soothe in some regard. Given karma is actually on the board with the Wheel of Fortune, case in point, especially with the Judgment card, it's all making sense. Like I'm dumbing it down to this idea of it being something like somebody with a broke down car, but think about it spiritually, where some people are experiencing a great harvest. Like I said, you home chilling, Netflixing. You ain't even out in the streets. Don't have no desire to be. But though others have taken certain risks or felt compelled in some regard to be out and about, and the karma as it is, whatever that may be, has caused them to break down on the side of the road and be in need. They don't, to the point where they don't have the support of their own AAA account that they can call and be, taken care of within their own right. Why is that? Why is that in the first place? So you just got to consider that everybody's not experiencing the same evolution and karmic and dharmic infusion that the other is. There's a great difference and disparity here from the outside in and from the inside out. And it doesn't have to be your problem, is I think the point of what I'm saying. It's not your responsibility. You could be the savior of the universe if you feel like that's what you're called to do, but be mindful as to what's really drawing you into that space. Is it truly something in integrity and that's from a higher calling to just be a good friend at this time, and something that you're assigned to do? That's the bigger picture here. Like, are you assigned to be of support on a grander scale to someone that might be experiencing some karmic energy or some experiences that are not favorable? Is it your assignment to be the one to help alleviate that experience or to add value to it or take anything away from it? Somebody might very well be receiving the justice and judgment from a supreme source, and here you go trying to interfere. You may actually get your hands dirty and find yourself caught up in the mix. So it's making sense what I'm saying. I know it is, but it's just a very roundabout way that it's coming out today, which is probably because of the nature of the message, because the energy doesn't want me to say this. They don't want you to be on guard for the shenanigans, like those that, Five of Swords, exactly. Somebody that with poor intentions. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying now. Be careful out here. This is a very low vibrational energy. Somebody aggravated assault is what I hear sometimes with this card. This is the aggravation, this is the assault with the Five of Swords. Looking to be some destructive, obstructive force in your life because they have something to prove or something to lose. Either one is dangerous, a dangerous mentality. Something to lose or have already lost, and something to prove with this Knight of Swords. Trust your intuition. That High Priestess came up. That's intuition. That's deep knowing. That's that niggling in the spirit, as they say. That's things falling apart right before your eyes, and you having discernment to say, nah, there's a reason for that. Or you perhaps even getting a call for some distress signal or distress call, but something is telling you, no, I'm not going to answer that one. That doesn't feel right. It could be a setup. trying to draw you into some ambush, or just throw you. I mean, that's the worst case scenario, like a physical ambush, or it could be something trying to draw you into some, distract you away from something else that you needed to be home for, or should be safe and secure within your home space against. And now you're out and exposed and vulnerable to the elements that you otherwise would have had no interaction with. No, man, be careful out here this weekend. I'm saying this for a reason. Yeah, magician energy, community, equal give and take, or is it? People positioning themselves in a persona of benevolence that project themselves to have something of value to offer you, but are actually looking more to take from you. Come out here. I want to, or God, let me offer you to go out to dinner. Invitations, like, nah, man. I wish I could say it better than, like the way I feel it, but I'm gonna just keep going and we'll see what the cards say. Okay. The Magician is manipulation. So it's like somebody's methods of manipulation have failed in their go-to methods. That's what it was. Because this is something that for whatever reason was working or was sustainable, but it ain't no more. So consider, especially with the Magician card here and the vibration that I'm speaking of, they've been able to manipulate a situation in their favor over and over again, maybe having access to your energy, your vitality, your friendship, your resources, your gifts, your talents. This is someone that's looking to manifest in an illusionary way in this regard, because the other day or yesterday, I think it was even, I had the Magician and it was a totally different vibe. I think it was 2 days ago. But even in that reading, it was like a this or that type of thing. It was like manifestation or manipulation, and that's the fine line between the two. Here, even still, manifestation, manipulation, walking away from investing a lot of energy into an outcome that isn't really working for you anymore. And this is trying a new trick, but it's leading to this. And ultimately, it's under the wheel of fortune and judgment. So as I've said, it's self-destructive. Even that 5 of Swords is the indication of self-destruction. Like it's defeated before it really even lands, quite honestly. And even if it does land, it's still defeated because of the intention behind it. It almost backfires on itself, because the destiny can't be stopped by any earthbound entity, organism, regardless of what they feel they're connected to otherwise. And final decisions have already been made. The gavel's been banged on these lower vibrational energies with even the intention to do anything out of divine alignment, to do anything harmful or destructive. A lot of that got exposed in the solar eclipse, and is what caused the dismantling in the first place, for people to either have to walk away, abandon their tactics altogether, or hopefully find some path to their higher self, hopefully. And then there's still a faithful few left behind that are still looking, to collaborate, a faithful few to collaborate in some dark way to make good on what they feel they've mismanaged or missed out on. And it ain't nothing good about it. I'm not taking that. The Tower card, heartbreak, Death card. There's that 5 of Swords again. And this is what it was. It was like every time I was cutting Three of Swords try to come out. What's that saying? I mean, Three of Pentacles. That it's a try hard. They putting in. The thing about it is, and I'm gonna say it because this is what I'm here for. For energies that are putting all their blood, sweat, and tears literally into this last ditch effort. Don't you realize by now where that energy is going to go? Hello, somebody. Overindulging. This is the 8 to the 9 of Cups. Don't you realize by now where that energy is leading? You're going to be laid to rest. Especially if there's any death magic being done. Something is it's already the energy of endings, death and rebirth. If you're not putting yourself in the position to be reborn and regenerated, it's going to be an ultimate demise in spirit and or in truth. Pick your poison. So it doesn't even make sense. Like, worried about a loss that was never really yours to have, or never a win in the first place, is the wrong mindset to have at this time, because being so intentional about winning at all costs with that Five of Swords energy is going to regress you right back into this space and time here. This is like a funeral. That's what that is in this moment. And that means either the demise of the person or the mindset. And I hope for your sake it's the mindset and you get to be reborn in some fresh way. But to persist in this energy as it's coming out here, and as I saw it and I felt it in the pre-shuffle. It's like, when will you learn? Like, I don't know. Ain't nothing going on but the rent is what I heard. Like, child. I don't know. And I can't get a card out, yeah, because it's like they don't have any other plan. Two of Wands. It's like, well, what else is there to do? Repent? Like, that's it. Change your mindset. Do something different. At least stop doing what you've been doing, because that is not the way. But they're going to keep at it. They're going to keep at it. Hoping for a victory and success. And what's that? But justice. On their ass, and they don't even realize it. The law might even be, and there's that again. The law might even be involved. What's this? I think that's a page. Oh no. Waiting for their ships to come in because they feel stuck. Like there's no other choice but to do what they've always been doing. It's like no turning back now. Still overambitious, impulsive and compulsive, to forge some type of crossover moment to get away with, you know, what the ambition is. But it's like, it's not going to happen like that, though. There is a choice. There's a better choice if you have the courage to make it. And it might not seem like the best one. Chariot card moving forward. But I assure you it is. anything else leads to that anxiety, fear, and, you know, dead end and prison. As a matter of fact, how about it? Nine of Swords. A jail cell. That's what the Chariot card was for. Police. Tower. And the Ten of Swords. Yeah, like, no. Still trying to work magic to keep people blocked and bound, to cause endings in the lives of unsuspecting targets or individuals, to ultimately come up from the vibration of others. You know, as I said, misery, love, and company. Ten of Swords, that's over. I'm not even interested in reading on this vibration anymore. Like, when I see it, I kind of skirt around it. But because of the energy of this moon, I feel like I have to say what I have to say, what needs to be said. And I'm about to wrap it up. One more card here. They still plotting, trying to finesse their ways into, you know, you go. This what you say, this what you do. You tell her this, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to say, and she gonna drink the cup. That's this energy. They gonna believe you, I promise you. Just say this and that. Look, dress up real nice, smell real good. This is the finesse right here, the Nine of Cups, the Knight of Cups. That's who's behind the BS. A whole coven, three's company energy again, third wheel type of energy, making and look at this shit. This is like, yeah, make the call, tell her to come to this party, or we having this celebration, or, you know, tell him it's gonna be some pretty girls there, you know, drinks, free drinks all night, open bar type of vibration. You know, it's a secret party, you know, not everybody's invited, it's exclusive. Here's the police energy, or the FBI, or whatever the agency is. There's where he gonna end up at the end of the night, in the county. Mad that he didn't just stay his ass home like he had the mind to. Right, Hermit card, to stay your ass home, listen to your inner guidance, literally be a hermit in your own little shell and content there. Yeah, poor investment. Seven of Pentacles. Like, this is somebody's warning. And last week, was it last week that I had that warning about the, look, Ten of Swords again. This is all the balance of the heavens and the earth, of what's happening. And if the person doesn't make the decision, doesn't take control of his senses or her senses, whomever, to either put a stop to this work or exercise some self-control from these impulsions or ambitions, to say like enough is enough, or no, I'm not going, or no, I'm not participating, or I'm going to do something different, it'll all be justified. You know, it'll be the karma as it's justifiably connected to play out, conditioned to play out, I should say, and the judgment of the heavens as to what happens on that account. It's like literally about judgment calls right now that are going to determine the best and worst outcome and the intensity of this vibration that's coming up. Good, bad, and indifferent. It's about making wise decisions, strong judgments, powerful Wheel of Fortune, that's Jupiter energy, powerful, expansive, big, you know, I don't even know how else to say it. Like Jupiter is so called the biggest god in the celestials, you know, the biggest planet for sure. It makes a great impact on anything that it aligns with. It expands, it can expand the protection, or it could expand the punishment, one way or another, depending on which way you're being compelled to operate, to respond. So it's like, again, all this energy going on down here in the underworld, unbeknownst to you, okay? Or maybe it beknownst to you, because the queen of not the queen, but the high priestess did show her face before, you know, we even started getting into all this. She was right here in the midst of this wheel of fortune and judgment. That means that there is an innate discernment on the board in your being that you possess. You have the power to make the decision based on what feels right and what feels righteous. And you have heavenly support, celestial support to back up those intentions, to back up your protection. Whatever it is that you're already feeling called to do, you have the support and the security, but it's still you that has to activate in the 3D to align that that synergy. Now, if you getting all the intel not to do a thing and then you go do it, you can't necessarily expect for that protection to follow you into a bad decision for a bad situation. It may, but it may not, because it may be out of the realm of, you know, the force field that was divined to give you security. You might be putting yourself in enemy territory or behind enemy lines. And then for the adverse energy, it's not just coincidental that you have had to abandon many many attempts in some regard, failed attempts to even try to conceptualize a new tactic. It failed for a reason. It's been stopped for a reason. It's at a dead end, a halt, a pause, a do not enter, do not continue, caution for a reason. And even you are being given the grace to shift your perspective, to make a strong decision, to take your power back, to take control over your impulses, over your carnal territory, and decide that you're not going to just go along with the gang, because the gang is about to play themselves out of position. Literally, they fighting to the death, blood in, blood out, live by the sword, die by the sword. So if that's what you want your fate to be, then you just keep at it. But I assure you that it's not going to be the intended target that is being idealized. It's not what you think. Because this energy might appear to be blind and bound, at home chilling, not doing much, just a sitting duck for some destruction. But if she's at home chilling, not doing much, and the integrity of what her spirit has told her and led her to do, you're not getting through that force field. It's actually, you're going to be dead on arrival, as a matter of fact. Okay, so yeah, so Six of Pentacles, yeah, it'll be 2 big endings back to back. Okay, looking like she's unaware, unassuming, you know what I say about the Two of Swords. That's a samurai warrior right there. She is protection in places that are unseen even to her. She don't even know how much protection is encamped around her. But I guarantee you, anybody that tries to pierce that force field will know. Seven of Pentacles, it'll be a poor investment. That agreement will not be, it won't be a prosperous contract or agreement. You'll find yourself at great odds with yourself, partnering up in any unfavorable or low vibrational way, and not listening to the fortitude of your inner self guiding you to the truth of yourself. What's that? Yeah. Missed opportunity and sheer dissatisfaction, and ultimately defeat when it comes down to it. The plan completely backfiring, misfiring and backfiring. How about that? And nobody on this team is winning. That's for sure. I would choose another, I would definitely choose another plan, another option. Go back to the drawing board. Is what that's saying to me. This is the message of a new possibility of a way to expand your creativity that'll be far more productive. It may seem small, it may seem, insignificant, but it may save your life, is all I'm saying. Save you a lot of heartache, a lot of burden, and might actually save the breath in your body to be able to have a new opportunity to do something different, see something different, expand your creative consciousness in some way. Put it to work in something that is positive. So, yeah, I knew it. I felt it. And there's that Fool card, new beginnings. I felt the energy on this one. I wasn't too excited as I was shuffling, like, oh, come on. We don't want to get back into that because we're moving on. We're moving forward. We do have a promising future, those that align with me on this energy, this frequency and vibration up here. Nothing that even presents itself to be, what was it, a distraction? We just finna be dancing around all that. Dancing right on around this little party right here and into our destiny. So it just doesn't even make any sense for anything to persist and assist to ruin that fiesta anymore. You weren't invited. You weren't invited to the party. Well, actually, that's a lie. You were invited to this party and you declined the invitation. You thought your party was better. So enjoy yourself, or don't. Either way, stop trying to ruin the good time for others. Shit. Like, the hell, like, enough is enough already. Enough is enough. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about that. I'm done. Take from it what you will. Can't say it enough. Enjoy yourself this weekend. Enjoy your time out or at home, whichever you choose for it to be. But stay alert. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your spirit light and on security, on orange alert, maybe red alert if that's the highest one. Just be mindful of where you are, and the moment something doesn't feel right, leave. Or excuse yourself, or excuse whatever the disturbance may be from your presence, with no apologies, no remorse, and no regret. You can never be too cautious in this season regarding your own spiritual and energetic and physical safety and security and comfort, because that matters too. And a lot of times the cues from that spirit of discomfort are the first signal when something doesn't just doesn't feel right. You don't feel at ease. You don't feel like you're having a good time. You feel like you feel paranoid. You don't really maybe even like the vibes, like the food ain't right, the lighting is a little bit off, the people are acting weird. Like you don't feel comfortable in your skin where you are, or with whomever you're having an experience with, or doing whatever it is that you're doing. That's enough of a sign, a signal for you to route up out of there immediately, without a second thought. Like, so you just got, where are you going? You just got here. I know, something came up. I'm so sorry. Great party though. Thanks for the invitation. I really appreciate it. I'll call you later. And we're out and seen. Little did you know, the feds was about to come raid that whole spot and take everybody in that was there, no questions asked. Just saying. It sounds fantastical, but is it? 'Tis the season for stranger things to happen. So the last thing you want to do is to be caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the wrong thing with the wrong people. It ain't worth it. I'd rather stay home and Netflix and chill. And I don't even have Netflix. And Peacock and chill, or Prime and chill, whatever it is you do. Shoot, YouTube and chill, if you will, but all in integrity and security of your supreme self. All right, so that's it. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'm sure, at this point, I'll probably see you, I don't know. Now I don't even know if I feel compelled to do, I don't know. We'll see how I feel, whether I'm going to do a message tonight or just continue on business as usual tomorrow, and it just kind of shapes into a moon message in some regard. We'll see how the spirit guides and leads, but in any event, I'll be back in some regard, Lord willing, and I hope that you will too. So enjoy yourself, enjoy your space, and until next time, I'm sending you not just peace, but protection, discernment, prosperity, productivity, pure passion, and power to make wise decisions. Peace.